Morning. Yes, you're gonna have to hear Adelaide meow again because she can't behave. I was gonna let her try to stay out while I did this video on this commission, but she has had to get into everything, so put her back in the crate again. So you'll probably hear her meow periodically on and off. She's fine. Um, she just, like I stated in that one video, she just doesn't like to be crated. She quits after a while. But anyway, we're working on a different commission today that came in. But it was actually, I had two traditional commissions, and the rest were like the PFP profile pictures, avatar pictures that was done digitally. Um, I'll have one more commission on the list to finish after this one, and then I will be opening up commissions. But there's already people who have messaged me, so those people who have messaged me will probably be filling those slots. I think there's like maybe 3, maybe 4 of them. I may just, if I just have just the 4 people, I may just go ahead and take those 4 in, shut down again, and Henry open one again after I finish them. So it's just like, the slots, just because I'm getting close to the end doesn't mean it will be a permanent open up, because I've already got people waiting in like PMs on Wolf Amino and other places who are wanting artwork. So the slots have already been filled already for when I reopen. I just have to shoot them back and be like, hey, send me the information. So slots have already been booked before I even open. Position is actually for a person I know locally, and I went to school with her back in the day. And seriously need to clean my clipboard. Like, it is nasty. Jeez. Yeah, I need to clean that off. But anyway, getting sidetracked from that. You'll notice that I'm not working on a piece of Bristol, that the paper has a tone to it. And it's toned to gray paper. So the way the things will be colored on this paper is going to be different than how you would do it, say, on white paper. The tone paper and black paper is so different to work with. You have to work backwards with it, which means you have to know, especially with the black paper, you have to know where your negative space is, or you will jack the whole thing up. Like, legit. It's crazy. And I think the black paper is the hardest to work on. I've done a few pieces on it, and it was complicated. And while they weren't complete fails, they weren't like complete, success either. But anyway, this is toned gray paper from Strathmore. I am using strictly Prismacolor pencils on this. This is going to take a while because this is all going to be colored. As you notice, we have a cute little unicorn foal. I had to do some tweaks on this before I even started the video. I had his mane in a typical, or her mane, in a typical foals style that they have. The foals don't really have long, flowy, or flopped over mane. Their mane is really short and it sticks up everywhere. But the client wanted, the longer, a longer mane on the foal, and so I did that, and I added some flowers and stuff because this is for a little girl's room. So I had to make it look a little bit more like something that would go in a child's room, I guess, is what I'm saying without being overly cartoony with it. So my inspiration, what I drew inspiration from, was Sudon and another artist from the 80s. I used an actual picture of a foal as a reference for the pose, which it didn't turn out like the photo I used. It just was a reference to give me a guideline where I haven't drawn a horse in a long time. It was mainly just used for the face, to get the face right of the foal, because foals have their faces are very different from a adult horse. And they're usually all legs and kind of lanky and out of proportionate a little bit, which the back half of this does still bother me a little bit, but the way the leg was turned in the picture and the body was turned, It's a little bit harder position for me to draw since I don't draw horses all the time. So I kind of fought with this leg here and kept fighting with it. And it's still kind of a little bit off, but I don't think it'll be too bad once I get the coloring on it and you can see where the shadows and shades and stuff are. But I am going to be working backwards on this. As I said, you can't really go from light to dark on the tone paper. You have to go with your shadows and stuff first, and you have to be careful because you can jack it up real fast, real quick. But the cool thing of it is, where there's this Prismacolor pencil, when you take the white over it, it burnishes it all out and blends it nicely. I probably should be coloring instead of sitting here running my mouth. I'm going to start out with the light blue in the Prisma set and start laying down the tones and the shadows. I will use this color and then I will go to the next shade that's a little darker than this one and then to the dark, and then I'll take the white, burnish it all out and look really nice and just keep working with it. So it's not hard. I even went and sharpened a few of my pencils before I started, so I wouldn't even have to get up and do that. But with this, with the way this shit, I can't talk this morning. It's like there's a thing about when I film early in the morning, it's just like my mouth is just cannot form words and cannot speak and cannot talk for some reason. But I mean, you have to kind of pay attention to where your shadows and stuff are on everything because you can screw it up really quickly. Mm-hmm. If I get a little quiet, it's just because I'm concentrating and it's kind of early for me and I'm just not really awake. Like I am, but at the same time, I'm just like not. I'm usually not overly conversational in the mornings. I am, but I'm not, if that makes any sense. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I have issues sleeping sometimes. And for those wondering, I am a left-handed artist. I'm not right-handed. And once again, anybody who joins my live stream this morning, if you type in the chat box and stuff like that, I'm unable to answer you back because I have the Chromebook set where I can't like respond back to you live. But if you want to leave a comment below, you're more than welcome to, and I'll answer it once the video's been posted. So that's no problem. I always say that. Just leave me a comment below because it's easier for me to be able to respond to you. Because live, I'm not even looking at the laptop screen. I'm focusing on what I'm doing. So if you're asking me questions and stuff, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to see it. And I'm not going to be able to answer you because the way I have to have my Chromebook set up and stuff. But you leave me a comment below and I'll definitely answer any question you may have to the best of my ability. And my hand was so played out over that one commission I finished yesterday. It wasn't even funny. And when the internet went out, it didn't record all of the footage that I thought it was recording offline. It did not record and save that. So it just had like 3 minutes into the thing before the internet decided it would just fucking die on me. So you guys didn't get to see me finish out the piece and fight with the Sharpie marker that kept trying to die on me and everything else and having a fit with it. I didn't get to see the reveal of the final product. And I am very sorry about that, but I didn't know that they were going to be doing an update on my internet right when I happened to be filming. Crap, get on there, you stupid thing. I hate these water bottles sometimes. I can't get the damn lids on them. Sit there and fight with it.
Yasha, why are you still alive? I bound you to a tree with a sacred arrow. Yeah, you sure did. And I stayed there for 50 years, but as you can see, I'm alive and ready to take you on again. You vile beast. I despise you. You loathsome half-man.
It's starting to look like something. It's just you just have to kind of know where your shadows are going to be at when you do something like this. And I don't really have a definite light source. I'm just using where I think the shadows would be out on the body. It's kind of typical to how the 80s style unicorns and stuff were done. I know a lot of people are if you were born in the 80s or anything like that, y'all are familiar with Sue Dawn's work. This was kind of influenced by that a little bit because I was always a big fan of her unicorns when I was a child, and I had several of her pictures hanging in my room, which I still have. And it's also a mix of another artist from that time period too. Like I did my own style, but I took from how they did realistically cute things for like children, and I tried to apply that to this so it wouldn't come off as super realistic, but not super cartoony either. But nice little transition of the two to where it's cutesy and it looks like something that would be in a kid's room. I did kind of a generic pose on this, sticking true to a lot of the pieces from how they were done in the 80s. Had very simple posing that was pretty simplistic and basic. And I just wanted to capture that feel again in this piece because why not? The last unicorn I did, he was real elegant. He was a stallion, and he was really had the beautiful arched neck and the really long, thin, slender legs and the flowy mane that was the color of the sunset. And those fades were a bitch to do on this paper. I am using the shade blue I'm using now is called True Blue, a Prismacolor, to add I'm telling you, I can't talk this morning. The darker hue to the light blue, and then I'll take a shade that's darker than this for my absolute shadows. I'm sorry, like I can't freaking talk this morning. My tongue is still asleep or something. It can't form words right. By evening time, I'd be like chatty as all heck. But I don't know. I get tongue tied sometimes. Like I know what I want to say and then just can't get it out. It's not. It's just how it is, I guess.
Stop this assault, Kikyo. Who are you? I am your younger sister, Kaneki. I looked up Audrey because 50 years have passed since your demise. Then explain why you would speak on Inuyasha's behalf. Give me this. Oh. Kaede! You must stop this madness. Inuyasha is not your enemy. Open your eyes. You too have been taken in by this deceitful monster. You are mistaken. Hand me your arrows. I'll do no such thing. Kaede! Show loyalty to your flesh and blood. Not some devious lying half-breed. Now, hear the demand of your elder sister and give me those arrows. Sister! Move! You told me you wished to become human. You told me you wished to be with me.
This little gal looks mischievous. She has a little bit of a mischievous look in her eyes. Kinda. I guess kids can be mischievous. I was a mischievous child. I was into everything. I was bad to beat the neighborhood boys up. My sister and I both were. She ended up marrying the boy that she bullied growing up. Isn't that ironic? She still beats his Honda in. It's kind of funny.
I shall not return to that body until I've carried out my revenge on the traitorous beast. Inuyasha, you are the
It's starting to take shape here slowly. It just takes time to really work and do this. It'll look nice when it's finished. And everything kind of looks bright right now, but when you take the white over it, it won't be. I've done this before, that's how I know this. I get asked a lot to do art tutorials, and I don't think that, while I don't do bad artwork and stuff like that, I just don't think that I'm really qualified to be teaching people how to do artwork. Like, a lot of what I learned is trial and error from screwing stuff up and being enraged by messing up a art piece I can't recreate again. I'm going to use indigo blue for the really dark shadows on this. And there won't be very many stark shadows on this little guy because you do not want to use too much blue. You can use too much blue and you can kill the image, like entirely kill the image. You have to be careful with how much of it you use because it's very vibrant and pigmented and it overpowers the picture if you don't watch it. Even when you take the white over top of it and stuff, it's just, you have to watch how much of the shadows and stuff like that, because you can kill a very simple piece like this very easy. And it's probably been about 2018 since I did white on tone paper, so it's been a hot minute for me. But I still remember the process because the reason I know the process to do is because I actually watched a tutorial on how to work on toned paper, because when I first bought it, I had no idea what I was doing with it. I knew how to do like the black and white pieces and stuff on it, but the rest I had to learn how to do. And I forget whose tutorial it was I watched on how to color on toned paper, because it's been a long while back. So. But once I got the gist of what they were doing, it was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then I was done with it, watching it. Like, I'm that kind of person. Like, if I understand what's going on, it's like, okay, I can do this. Yeah, okay. I don't need it no more.
Shiko jewel from demons. I do need the Shiko jewel so that I can become a full-fledged demon.
Little dapples on this little gal is going to be bright colors. I'm going to do the mane in bright colors and stuff too. She's a little girly girl type thing. Like unicorn. It's been a long time since I've thrown a unicorn.
I merely wanted the jewel for myself. I had no intention of killing Kikyo. It became clear that Kikyo did not intend to kill me.
I like unicorns. Wish I had a chocolate bar. I'm chocolate themed. Oh my gosh, I think we're ready to do the white. I'm moving along pretty good this morning. Oh my gosh, I'm yawning.
What's your point?
I'm still sleepy. I think I can go back to bed and just be perfectly okay with that.
Where are you going with this?
Doesn't feel like it's 10 something already. Oh my god.
If I did, the demon would get the better of me. Inside, I am an ordinary woman. Yet I cannot reveal myself as such. In ways, we are similar. Both outsiders. That is why I was unable to kill you. Quit whining. We've all got our cross to bear. You're right. I shouldn't complain. When I saw Kikyo's sad and lonely expression, I felt guilty for the very first time in my life.
Our roleplay partner's still in bed.
I couldn't get her out of my mind.
Now we're going to go back over what we've done with white. White Prisma pencil. And you've got to make sure that this is completely white and that none of the tone paper is showing through, and you take it right over top of the blue. That's the whole point of it, and it actually blends out the color. I mean, you have to take a black colored pencil in and obviously do little details and stuff like that, but you can see already how it's really blending the blue and making it look really nice. Even on the ear that's farthest away, I still take the white over top of it because, he's a white she. I keep on calling it a he. And it's not a he, it's a her. But she's a white unicorn, and thus, all of her would be white.
I knew I could live with Kikyo as a human. I longed for such a life. But the day she was to bring me the jewel,
Gotta go around all the little spots. I figured this would be a good video to kind of make because, not a lot of people really do videos on tone paper, or the artists I watch don't really work on the tone paper much.
I managed to dodge the arrows and went to the village to steal the jewel. And that's when she bound me to a tree. Why did you betray me, Inuyasha? How did it come to this? How did it go so wrong? It wasn't supposed to be like this.
You can already start to see how it's starting to take shape and look. It's really bright, isn't it? It's white. And this is why I like tone paper, because Damn, Prisma pencils really pop on this stuff. And I'm just taking, again, I'm taking the white color pencil over top all of the blue that's been laid down prior. You don't want to just take it right in here and just leave the blue stark like how it is. You want to take that white Prisma pencil right over top that. That way it blends it out into your white and it looks cohesive all over the entire piece. You know what I mean? And where you're going to be pressing a little bit hard, you're going to have some pencil debris on here and stuff, and you're also going to wear the lead down to the pencil quick. So you'll have to sharpen the pencil probably a few times throughout this process. I'll make the mane on this little guy too really bright so he stands out. Okay. I was making sure that wasn't my role play partner. She may not be on much today, where it's Sunday. We had a good couple hour role play session yesterday, and then I had some quiet time. I guess she was busy doing stuff. I woke up, had a line of role play from her this morning, so I went ahead and answered her back already. Somebody's blowing up my stuff. Oh, it's Sketchy and Wolfamino. Told somebody who's interested in an art card to go ahead and shoot me a PM. That way when I open, I can just work them in on the list of people who are waiting for me to message them back to get the details. So to the public, I'll pretty much be closed still because my slots have already been claimed already. Sorry about that, but I've had people, really wanting to make sure that they get a slot, so I just told them just drop me an inbox message, and once I get ready to open up, I'll just shoot them a message priority, which means it'll automatically close me because I think I'm about 4. I think 4 is what I got. 3. It might be 3. I think it's just 3. No, it is 4. It is 4. Excuse me, it is 4. So it's one more slot than what I said I would take, but some of them I think is going to be really simple headshots, so those should be able to work through mostly pretty decently okay. The traditional pieces will take time. They always take time. They don't slam out as quick as that digital art does. Because I can do the digital art while I'm sitting in the truck in the morning at work. Like a lot of the headshots I did sitting in my work truck at my workplace early in the morning, waiting on everybody to come in and be dispatched. So that's how some of those got done pretty quick. And why some of the traditional media had to hold. I do have to rest my hand periodically from doing this because you do kind of have to put a little bit of pressure on the paper. Probably going to have to go sharpen my white pencil. Getting low. Which I knew that that would happen on this video because shouldn't have to sharpen it much though, because this little guy's small, so it's not like he's huge. But you can already see how the blue is burnished in, where it has a nice gradient from the white, where you take the white over top of it. But you can't be afraid to do that because it's what you got to do to get these colors looking nice. I'm going to go sharpen my little tiny white Prisma pencil, which I need to go buy more white Prisma pencil. I got to do white and black like nobody does.
So this weasel was the culprit, and this small animal turned into a demon that possessed you?
Yes,
And what of that young monk?
he gave me no name, but left with my heart.
My lord, I regret I have terrible news to
I'm
bring
going to turn this fan off on me. It's like blowing right in my face and aggravating me. Sorry, Mark.
Three of the best horses.
I accidentally sit on my dog. If he wasn't right in my way, I wouldn't have to worry about sitting on him. Excuse me. Alright, sharpen my Prisma pencil.
Even so, this shard of Chiton jewel made it worth my while.
Yeah, and this is what I call a hot trick.
A girl? She wears a shard of Chiton jewel, and there, I mean, it's huge.
Don't you even think about peeking at me?
Don't flatter yourself. I got no interest in looking.
Oh, is that so? Well, fine then.
Hey, why are you getting undressed?
Give you one guess.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oops, sorry. You want to come? Wait, come to think of it, how come you and Kagome spend so much time together, and yet you never seem to bathe at the same time? Think of all the fun things you can do when there's two of you.
Listen, kid.
Mom, Dad, and I always took baths together, and we had a really great time.
Remind me to explain it to you when you're a bit bigger.
I guess that means you haven't gotten very far with Kagome yet, right? I don't know what that means, but no one seems to be willing to answer. I wonder why.
I'll tell you why. In about 50 years when you're old enough to understand it.
Just answer the question. What did I say? Okay, so maybe I'm not the beauty that Kikyo was.
I got sucked into the anime for a minute. That's terrible.
Right, okay, just go away. Shoo, monkeys.
She's with another man. Too bad. I hate having to resort to violence.
Allow me to explain. I merely wish for a guarantee.
I told you that you'd be compensated.
Yes. Try to see the humor in it. So I bumped you on the head. You saw me naked, so can't we say we're even?
I saw nothing.
You did, right? I don't know. I was looking somewhere else.
So it's the fellow in red you want me to attack?
Right. Meanwhile, I shall make off with the girl.
I still don't get it. Why go to all this trouble when you could use your powerful right hand and have the jewel in a matter of seconds?
Don't be a fool. Surely you know better than that. If I use this hand, everyone in the city will die.
How could I have forgotten? I hope you'll remember who your friends are if they should somehow get out of control.
You can count on it, my friend.
Oh. Getting my hand to rust, but you see he's definitely taking shape and it doesn't look so rough. Only bad thing about that is it makes my hand cramp, which my hand's still kind of tired from yesterday where I worked on that one and stuff. It's just crazy.
Got himself a young woman in the process.
What am I, a consolation prize?
Kagome! It's the guy. Where's he taking her to? Don't take this personally, but I got better things to do.
Don't you me, I'm not an innocent badger.
Your friend is a violent one. Explain yourself. Why did you attack me?
Inuyasha, let me go.
Gladly. Seeing as I have what I desire.
Hey, are you all right?
Creep. Who the heck was that guy anyway?
He did mention something about being a monk. But what was the
deal with his right hand.
Yeah, I've never seen such a strong storm come from out of nowhere. It was like the wind from his hand was pulling in everything in its path.
Oh no! That monk took off with my bike. Yeah, great!
Like that matters. You were being kidnapped. Don't you think that's more important? I can't turn my back on you people for a second.
You were worried about me. Sorry.
Sorry for what? I never said I was worried about you. I was only thinking about the jewel shard.
Speaking of which, he took more than the bike. He got the jewel too.
What? Lousy thief! I'll find him yet! He could not have gotten too far! I'll hunt the fraud down!
Come on, Inuyasha, what's taking you?
Get off my back! There's a lot of smells to sift through, alright?
Hurry up, people are staring. I'm with Kagome. They don't look very friendly.
Where did that miserable thief go? What? Is he some manner of beast?
See what I mean?
The young man and the boy are on and out, but look at that strange girl. Is she also a demon?
For me?
See how he feels?
Hey, maybe he never even came through here.
He was here, all right. I can smell him.
Even if he did pass through, a thief wouldn't just be hanging around in a place like that. Would anyone like to dance?
So much for their claim of having beautiful geishas. Would have had a better time if I'd gone drinking with the bench. Gotcha.
Busted, bicycle thief.
I'm so glad you're here.
Oh,
It's too good to be true. You're a real sight for sore eyes. I'll give you sore eyes. You again. I should have figured as much. Yeah, you should have. Funny, that's just what I was thinking. But I guess not all of us are blessed with good looks and brains. Don't suppose you'd be interested in handing over that jewel fragment they stole from us? A gem such as this does not belong in the hands of a demon. We'll see about that! Oh, no, you don't! Come back and fight like a man! I will not fight a senseless battle!
I love my phone. I love when it typos.
I knew it! He's no ordinary mortal!
Fantastic. Probably half of it not even me being awake.
I don't know who you are, but you're no monk. I go by the name Miroku. And yes, I am a monk who works to aid the common man.
Damn it.
Work to aid the common man.
No.
You're nothing but a sleazy robber. Now give us back our shard of the Shiko jewel. We went to a lot of trouble to get it, and we're not going to lose it now. Touching speech. I know you went to great pains to collect this gem, but trust me, it's in better hands with me, Inuyasha. So you knew who I was all along? Not at all. Was it that beautiful companion of yours who called you by name or the young fox?
he can't be all bad if he has such good taste. Snap out of it, Kagome. You stole your jewel from under your nose.
Enough talking. Let me at ya! Strong, not strong enough. Watch him strike. I'll have that jewel shard back from you now. Unless you'd rather die, that is. As you wish! Villagers, take heed! Distance yourself from this place, I warn you! It's for your own safety! End of the line! This time, victory is mine! He's only on his hand. This may come as something of a surprise, but I'm a very sore loser.
Sorry about that. Gave my hand a little bit of a rest here.
Let's see how long you can withstand me.
I'm getting it colored.
Just like a black hole. It's sucking up everything that isn't there
My role plays are always shoddy in the mornings.
How do we do that?
Better during the day, evenings.
From this place.
He warned the villagers because he doesn't want to hurt humans.
Can't let go. Surrender while you can. You get sucked in, you'll never come out alive. No chance. Too busy hacking your right hand off to surrender. My hand will pull you in, sword and all. Kagome! Kagome!
Oh, my head. Those prayer beads. They're what seals off the power of his hand. He stopped the assault on his own, meaning he can't be all that bad.
Kagome! Are you crazy? You could have gotten yourself killed!
I wouldn't have done it if I'd had any doubt. With a hand that powerful, he could have killed us a long time ago if he wanted to. Let's at least give him a chance.
I have to sharpen the pencil again. See, it wears down real quick.
I was wrong. Kill him.
You just blew your last chance. Settle down, will you? Let me explain things. I, too, am in search of the shards of the Shikon Jewel. My purpose is to find and eliminate a demon. A terrible demon that goes by the name of Naraku.
Naraku?
Yes, and it was this same demon who left me with this cursed hole in my right hand.
What sort of demon is this thing?
I know little of him except that he is very wicked and thought to devour me.
Yeah, go on.
According to Father, my grandfather battled Naraku long ago in his youth. It was over 50 years ago. Their battle ensued for several years, and each time Naraku appeared before my grandfather, he took on the form of a different human.
I got it sharpened now. We should be in business for a little bit.
Seriously?
Go up here and do around these little spots.
He took on the form of a beautiful woman. My grandfather had great spiritual powers, but unfortunately, his fate would have it.
Don't tell me. He was a lecher.
Remarkable intuition. Naraku pierced my grandfather's right hand with his sacred religious seals and managed to escape. The abyssal hold that I've cursed you with shall be passed down to your children and their children so long as I live. Each generation shall thus be cursed until no one remains. Each year, the hole in my hand becomes bigger and the wind ever more powerful. Unless I can defeat Naraku, I myself will eventually be devoured by the hole.
So, in other words, you mean it would kill you?
Yes, and I am prepared to accept that fate if such is truly my destiny. But in the meantime, I must continue trying to stop Naraku. The sacred jewel of the Four Souls vanished 50 years ago, and now is scattered into many tiny shards. Knowing Naraku, he is certain to attempt to gather the fragments in order to strengthen his own malicious power. I'm sure of it. I know because Naraku once came close to getting the jewel 50 years ago. In doing so, he slew the priestess protecting it. You say he killed a priestess? That's right. He must be the demon that disguised himself as me and struck down Kikyo. It must be him. Naraku. You say this Naraku takes on all kinds of different forms, right? What about now? What does he look like now? Calm down. If I had that information, I would have slain him long ago myself. Naraku laid a trap for Kikyo and me. He made us believe we deceived each other. The demon who killed Kikyo is still alive and is after the sacred jewel fragments. I will hunt down Kikyo's killer and avenge her death.
If we keep looking for these jewel fragments, we're sure to run into Naraku ourselves sooner or later.
How did you get that back?
Let's search for the jewel shards together. Unless you plan on giving up, Inuyasha.
I'm never giving up.
What do you say?
I've always been more of a solitary man, preferring to work on my own than in the company of others.
Yeah, but if we don't act fast, you won't even have your own company to enjoy.
Dear Kagome, are you troubled by this wretched fate of mine?
Sort of.
Then do me this good turn, will you? I wish for you to bear me a son.
And why would I do that?
If for some unforeseeable reason I should fail to destroy Naraku, I should like my son to carry on the family's mission. Hands off, priest. Your only family mission is lecturing. I'm a monk, not a priest. Don't ever consider laying a hand on Kagome again.
Inuyasha.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I thought you know more than that companion. But apparently you are in love with Kagome. My, this is awkward. Well, you've got it all wrong. She's just a jewel detector.
Is that all I am to you? Oh, how could I forget? You got a thing for dead girls. Should I help out? Hiroko's a lot nicer than Inuyasha.
You wouldn't dare betray me. You can't really blame her. You could treat her more kindly. What do you know?
Well, so much for everyone coming to a peaceful solution. I never want to grow up. Yes, exactly. Be more gentle. Put your hands off me. I told you not to touch her.
And I'm just doing these little hooves in and stuff like that with a 2 different tones of peach and stuff. And now I'll take the lighter peach and put in on it. I'll get you here in a minute, Marvin. Yeah, it's like I'm super focused and stuff, and that's why I'm like quiet when I've been coloring, because I just like been focusing so hard on it. Can screw it up really easy. So you have to really pay attention when you do stuff like that. It's crazy. Just crazy. goes there. Like, I am sorry, I'm not like super chatty and talking. It's just you have to focus on it. Focus. Focusing. Also, gonna put something else on my Netflix. You can see I've moved on now and got most of it done. What I have to do is the main and backgrounds I always do last. Because when I do background stuff like that, I want to make sure I have the character outlined. See, this is why I'm quiet, because I can't freaking talk. Outlined and stuff, that way it stands and pops on its own out from the background. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Thinking my tiny dog's going to have to go to the bathroom. And stuff here in a minute. Hey, my partner's already off. She sent me one message and then got off. I'll be back. I gotta go to the bathroom and I'm gonna let my dog out. Okay, back. Gotta find me something to watch. Let's put Bob Ross on in the background. I had Inuyasha playing and I kept on wanting to watch it instead of listening to it, so. Because that happens. I'm thinking. I'm going to use this pink, I think. Fade it up into the purple. This could end disasters. And I'm going to take it from light to dark. So again, we're doing everything in reverse.
Hi, welcome back. So I'm glad you could join us today. Today I think we'll just do a fantastic little painting I'm sure you'll enjoy. So let's start out and run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with us. While they're doing that, let me show you what you caught me doing up here. Today I have the standard old pre-stretched canvas up here. can see, I've covered this whole area with black gesso, allowed it to dry completely. Then on top of that, I put a thin, let me say it again, a thin coat of liquid clear, just a very thin coat. And on top of that, then we've added a mixture of sap green and Van Dyke brown. I put the Van Dyke brown there just to dull down the green a little bit so it's not quite so bright. And up here, I was just putting in a little liquid white right in this little spot that has no gesso on it. Just let it blend back. It just literally blends right on back and begins to mix with that mixture of sap green and Van Dyke brown that we have up here. I love these canvases with the black gesso. It's so fantastic what you can do. All right. Now then, let me just mix up a little more paint.
Black canvases are hard to paint on too. I did one.
Brown here and sap green. About in equal proportions.
Hard to work on like black paper.
Just sort of give it the flavor that you want. All right. Let me wipe off the knife.
I figured I'd put a lot of pink on this since it's for a little girl.
The indication of a lot of little trees and stuff.
That's what I'm doing. It's got to look girly and kitty and cute.
So I've taken a little white, a little titanium white, and mixed it with this nice brown green color that we have here.
I'll use like hues of darker purple and like magenta, I think, for the spots. I'm not going to do her in a sunset type thing. I'm going to try to keep things kind of pastel with her because, oh hell shit. Why do I keep knocking my pencils up? I tell you why, because I insist on wallowing the couch instead of sitting at my desk. So I was using the pink, and now I've got the Parma Violet, or Parma Violet. That's what I thought it said. Because it's a nice shade to blend up from the pink. And I will take the pink up into this and blend it out really good. That way it's flawless and doesn't have that noticeable line.
I say that over and over because it's almost as bad to have too much detail far away as no detail close up. If all that makes sense, I hope so. There. We did the corner of the brush into a small amount of it, titanium white, very small amount. That will create like little misty areas down here at the base of this. Just little soft misty areas that just sort of float around.
It's starting to come to life and look like something, well, you know. There's a lot of repeat process.
Even that, you play with it a little bit, you can even make that look like a lot of little foliage that's just hanging around right here.
People are probably going to want to know what my traditional art costs. Well, it really just depends on what you want. Like, I can do stuff that's affordable, and then I can do stuff that's going to cost quite a bit. It just all depends on what you want. What mediums you want me to use. I do charge quite a bit if I'm using my Prismacolors. But I can do cheaper colored pencil pieces if you want me to use cheaper brands. I won't say cheaper pencils, but brand that isn't expensive like Prismacolor. I've done, and I can do really, 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 really nice commissioned work with Crayola. The only problem I have with Crayola pencils is getting rid of all the noise, but I figured out how to do that by taking baby oil on a Q-tip and blending it together. It makes it have the effect that the Prismas have almost. They're not Prismas, they'll never be, but you can get them to blend that way a little bit. You just have to work with it. But it allows me to do commissions a little cheaper for people who don't want me or can't afford me using my high-end products on something, and where it takes a lot of layers and a lot of detail. This toned paper is expensive too. It's not cheap.
evergreen trees. Just make a line, brush, and then use the corner of the brush. Work back and forth, pushing harder.
Like Bristol paper, I think, is a little cheaper than the toned papers. But I really like the toned sketchbooks. I had a small toned tan notebook that I did Goretober in. And then after Goretober, I failed it with just, regular drawings and stuff like that. And I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. It was really nice. And I liked it a lot. But see, she's got nice little pastel girly colors on her. That's the whole point of it. I'm getting this purple. I got the shakes this morning really bad. I think my blood sugar's like dropping. It's not good. I get too shaky. I'll have to quit working on this. That's why I need chocolate. It'll level that shaking out a little bit. And I'll be alright. And it's not really a sunset color that I'm doing it. I like purple is one of my colors that I like. And purple and pinks and stuff like that just marry well like for like an evening sky and stuff. So I think it looks really good. I was going to do rainbow on her, but I refrained from that.
These old trees just live right here behind us, just sort of pushing out. Once again, as you work down the tree, add more and more pressure to your brush. Make those brushes you get. Let's go back over here. Right there.
It would have made it more childish for a child's room and seem, more appropriate with the rainbow mane, but I didn't want to do that because it's for a little girl. So I wanted to do some colors that I thought a little girl would like. And I know little girls usually always like pastel colors like pinks, purples, turquoises and stuff like that. Always looks good on little kids, little girls. So I try to do soft colors on my baby unicorn because I want her to be soft and pretty and stuff, She's basically a little girl too, just different kind.
Just a few here and there. You even have a few that don't have a tree on it. Because maybe the old tree passed away, but the trunk's still there. This whole big one needs something too.
And I'll make her horn gold and then like a golden color and stuff like that. Basic unicorn color. I didn't want to just leave her all white with a funky mane. I could have made her mane white too, because most unicorns, they have the white mane, unless you have the ones with the rainbow mane. But I've seen them do them differently, or do them like real colored horses and then have like the colored spots and stuff on them like that. A lot of the 80s had some really imaginative fantasy unicorn art. Sue Dawn was like the most popular one. Like I think everybody had Sue Dawn hanging in their room. And to this day, I like Sue Dawn's unicorn art. It's just something about it. While her anatomy and stuff gets weird on some of her paintings and such, I still really, 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 really like the whimsy of her unicorns. It's just her paintings and stuff had a feel to them like no other, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say.
Reminds me of horseshoes when I was young. I used to play horseshoes a lot because we lived way up in the woods. And that was about the only thing there was to play. We didn't have any video machines or Pac-Man or any of those good things to play. So we played horseshoes. We took a little white, just had it right there. In fact, I became the champion of my school. There. I have to brag a little here. doing here is just creating the illusion of a little mist right down at the base.
I think Bob Ross could be anybody's spirit animal. He's so common to have in the background playing. The man could paint landscapes, though. I can't paint landscapes. I'm a mud mixer when it comes to landscapes. It sucks so bad. My problem is when I do landscapes is I tend to overwork them excessively. Like, I don't understand the concept of not overworking my paint.
Little yellow and a little green cat yellow. Maybe a little yellow ochre too. I like it. Ooh, that's even better. I think I like the ochre better than the cat yellow. But it's still just about white. Just about white. And we'll take the fan brush and go right through there. And maybe right in here. The light's coming through there. Maybe it's hitting a few little bushes right in here. Just gonna push up into the fan brush. And they're just really sparkling out here in the sun. Just beautiful little bushes that live in here. Wherever you think they should be. Push up with the fan brush. You can create the illusion of all kinds of little things. I know maybe there's one up in here. They got a neat way of making all the bushes.
I almost want to text my uncle and see if he pick me up, take me up to my mom's for a little while. I probably should do that. Damn. Yeah, y'all hear me say damn a lot.
Maybe right here. Right here.
Trying to find my color scheme I'm looking for here.
Any size stone you want in our world. Maybe it's a big boulder that lays over here. This is no longer a stone. We just turned it into a boulder. There. Big healthy stone.
Well,
And one of the neatest ways of making it very effective.
I'm trying to figure out colors here. I think I'm going to use these two.
Blue. A little bit of color right on the end of the pan brush.
I'm going to go back to using that Pharma Violet and a Mulberry together for the
Just
spots.
create all the shapes you want.
I know I said I wasn't going to do too much purple, but you know what?
And let the
Shoo
natural
me.
hand brush work for you too. Sometimes that works out very well. Very well. Just tap. Think about shape and form. And think about it. Don't just tap at random because that's all you end up with. Think about what you're trying to do. Here and there on the edge, we see a little light coming down the side. Just
And that's the thing with the Prisma pencils.
now,
They blend well.
clean, dry 2-inch brush. One hair in some air. Gently, gently, gently. Just blend that. Very gently. There we go. It's one of the easiest ways of making just a happy little stone. You can put a little highlight on it, a little bright red, a little white. Just a little bright red and white. Same thing. Pick out where you think that light would really strike. You can put the imitation here and there of a little highlight. Not much though. Not much. It'll overdo it real quick. And then once again, back to whisper. There. Okay. Now, let's have a little bush like that in front here too. Oh, a couple of fronds of big stone. Right there. Since we decided this was the basement down here. Basement for painting. That's the middle. There. But that's the way new terms come about. Is half the time they're mistakes. Oh, we don't make mistakes.
But I'll probably get the spots and stuff on this little gal colored. I might even do the unicorn's horn. And then I may shut this off because see, I'm running over an hour and stuff. I'm going to try to keep these under an hour instead of 2 hours and stuff like that. I know some of this I kind of sat and didn't do nothing. There was periods where I was just sitting here not doing anything. And I apologize for that. But
Now with that, you come back in here, go right over the top of that fern paint.
this just gives you a basic idea of how to work
Little happy things that
backwards on toned paper, which I'm using toned gray. I'm not using the toned tan on this particular piece. I had toned tan, but I don't anymore because I used that entire sketchbook up. Which I don't know if I did a sketchbook tour of that one or not. Which I would have to dig in a tote upstairs for my sketchbooks because they're. Well, I keep all my sketchbooks and stuff like that. I do have some free range originals that do need homes. I know I'll say this in just every video. I do have originals upstairs that do need homes. Paintings mostly on stretched canvas. I think I have a few on canvas board too that would be easy to ship as well. But I mean, I've got a stack of them against the wall in my studio upstairs. It's like I got to move some of it. I don't really want to get rid of. I get attached to my personal pieces. That's the problem. But I'm gonna have to move some of them because I'm not gonna have room for everything. You know what I mean? But nothing that is pre-made upstairs will be cheap. Because it's stuff I've literally spent days, hours working on, and I've, really worked hard on it. My paintings won't be, most of them are like, I think the 16 by 20 and up, but I do have some smaller ones that would be more affordable for people. The bigger ones, you're looking at probably 90 and up on those, depending on quality of it. And some of my lower quality paintings will be cheaper, of course, that I feel are lower quality to me in my eyes. But my detailed stuff that I know I pulled off to the best of my ability will not be cheap. I can't do them cheap because, like I say, some of them are big. I have one that's every bit as tall as me, but now that one isn't for sale. That's a personal piece that I will be keeping because any of my art pieces that has P Lady involved in it will not be for sale. Just heads up. Those I try to keep. I know in the past I used to sell artwork of my wolf and stuff on my clear out. My YouTube is doing some weird juju shit. So I think really I'm just going to end the video here. That way I can just focus more on it since I haven't really been talking much on this video. And I'm going to end it here, which you can try to get the laptop to where you can see it a little better. But that's basically what it looks like. I'm going to stay out of the camera because I look like I rolled out of bed. But that's what he looks like so far. And stuff. Don't know if you can really see it very good. But that's what I got so far. I mean, it's not done, but it's what I got so far. That's what y'all was watching the video on. And if the back leg and stuff does look a little odd still, that's probably just due to the angling and stuff. Or I just didn't take the leg in enough on angle or something. But, horses have pretty thick legs, thighs, rump. And he kind of had his leg kind of turned out a little bit. So that's why it won't look so weird once I put the black lines on it and stuff. It's just everything right now. It's still just the pencil lines and stuff where I'm just getting the color down on there, and I'll do the black detailing and stuff on it last. It's all processed and you go backwards on it. But that's what I've got so far. And with that, I'm just going to wish you guys a happy Sunday and stuff. And I'll probably pick this back up and do a video on it at a later date. Probably not today. Or this might be the only video I do on it. It's hard to say with me because I'm very random. But anyway, you guys have a good Sunday, and thank you for joining me this morning. Have a good day.